Okay, welcome to our knee pain series, guys. As I've mentioned in previous videos, this is focused on runners, but of course if you're not a runner and you're just developing a little bit of niggles in and around the knee, these exercises are going to really help develop some strength around that area. Now this is video 3. If you haven't seen the first 2, I will probably go back and do those exercises, because the way we work with people and the way we work with these series is developing you stage by stage. So just jumping straight in today might be a bit too advanced for some of you. So go back, do the exercises from video 1 or 2, and they're going to really help you out. So the main focus today, as always, is going to be movement. And you'll notice that with a lot of the exercises that we put out there, is our goal is to get you to move better. In and around the knee and the ankle is our main focus in this series. Other series, we look at the hip and we look at the spine as well, guys. Okay, so we've got the movement factor, and very importantly, we've got a strength factor. Our goal is to make you stronger as well. And the last exercise today, what I want to go through is one's going to be a bit more power, it's a bit more explosiveness. We tend to find this is something that's lacking for a lot of people's programs, especially if they're playing sports or they're running. There is no sort of power element to it. So that's going to really help you out. If we could just get you in the concept of thinking about doing these strength exercises and the movement drills, rather than some magical stretch, I feel like everyone watching this is going to get a lot more benefit out of it. I think very often we're in the mindset of the fact that we need one magical stretch to cure our knee pain. And unfortunately, guys, if we understand human mechanics, it's not that simple. I wish it was, but it's not. Our goal is to look at the whole body as a unit, get you strength in some areas where you're probably quite weak, and really help you out. So you've got 3 exercises coming your way, guys. I really hope you enjoy them, and we'll crack on with them. Okay, so first exercise, we're going to look at the single leg squat again. And you'll notice from the other 2 videos, I've just tweaked it a little bit, guys. Very often people, if they do single leg work, they're very locked in their sort of train of thought, and they've got to do it in one specific way. But again, if you understand how the body works, guys, it doesn't just work in this sort of rigid way. So my goal is to open your mind up a little bit to movement. It's going to be some new concepts you probably haven't heard of before, thought of. But if you can think about opening your mind a little bit to movement, you're going to be a lot more conditioned. So as I mentioned, it's going to be a single leg squat, but I'm going to tweak where your foot is today. Okay? So traditionally, we've talked about single leg squat, foot being straight. Previous videos, we've squatted and we thought about the knees coming in and out. And that's fantastic. Now I'm going to tweak that a little bit today, guys. So I'm actually, first of all, I'm going to squat my foot slightly rotated in. So my whole leg goes in. And as I squat, my knee can still come forward a little bit. It's a very subtle movement. And you'll feel, as you're squatting, the weight slightly wanted to go a little bit to the outside of your foot. And let your foot roll with that. That's fine. This links really well in from the movements I've worked on videos 1 and 2. Okay, so that's the first part of it. So maybe 8 to 10 reps there. Like I've mentioned before, if you feel like your balance is going, use that back leg and just do a little mini squat. As long as the weight's in this front leg, that's fine. Second part to it then, this foot goes out a little bit. Again, depending on your flexibility, depending on what feels comfortable, depending on how far you rotate. Some clients is just very subtle. Some clients have got loads of range. So for me, my range isn't amazing. I'm just going to go a little step out, and I'm going to get a little squat down again. And I can feel my knee slightly want to come in a little bit and my ankle rolling in. That's totally fine. It's a subtle movement. It's nice and controlled, and I'm just going with it. 8 to 10 reps, and then same on the other side. So again, my foot can slightly rotate in, some little mini squats. If I need to, use that back foot for a little bit of support, that's totally fine. Especially if you've got one leg a little bit weaker. Very often people need a bit of support. As they get stronger, as I said, into that single leg. 8 to 10, other way, so I'm slightly twisting my foot out a little bit. This is my slightly weaker side, so I probably won't go too far out. And again, I get that little squat in. And I can feel my ankle wanting to roll in, which is totally fine, like I mentioned. I'm just starting to build some strength and some tolerance in this range. Very often, people are very weak when things start to sort of roll in. There's no strength within the ankle or the knee. Getting my body conditioned, some different movements and some different angles. Okay, so take your time with this exercise, guys. Once you feel you're competent with it, then we'll move on to exercise 2. Right, exercise 2 then. Still sticking to single leg theme, okay? Now, it might take you a little bit while to get to this. Don't think I've got to do this exercise and follow them straight one after another. You might be in one exercise for a week or 2, and then you can develop through. Depends where you are now, guys. Everyone's at different stage of their movement and strength journey. Some people are quite advanced, quite strong. Some people, quite oftenly, they come to us and they're not that conditioned, so we've got to start off small. But if you're feeling good so far and you're still with me, this would be a really good progression to think about. So I've talked a lot about your single leg squat already today, okay? So most of it's been driven for the knee, okay? We're still going to drive for the knee and get your hip involved a little bit because you're going to sit back into it. So now I'm loading up a bit from my glutes as well as around the knee, and the way up, I'm exploding up. So it's quite a quick movement as I come up. So I'm getting a nice load down and drive up. Load down and drive up. Okay, very often we see people with some quite good programs, but they haven't manipulated enough variables. One variable I suggest you definitely manipulate is speed, how quick you can do something. Because again, if you think about running, okay, it's quite a fast activity. So if you haven't recreated that in the conditioning program, you're probably missing something. Okay, and same idea on the other side. Again, my weaker side might not look quite as good. We get the idea. Let's load up and that drive through. Load up and drive through. So my mindset is very powerful and fast on the way up and controlled on the way down. Again, probably 8 to 10 is a great way to start this. Once you feel strong with this, you feel like you're really getting something out of it, hold there for a little bit, and then you can move on to our third exercise today. Okay, exercise 3 of our knee pain series. So this is our last exercise I'm going to go through with you guys. So far, we've gone through a nice journey. We've kind of worked on some movement of the ankle, some movement of the knee, giving you a bit more confidence and some strength. So at this stage, you've ticked all the boxes there. You feel quite good within your knee, quite strong. Your ankle joint should be giving you a bit of movement, also feeling quite stable as well on one leg. Now then the final exercise. This is thinking about a lot of explosiveness as well as speed. Essentially, we're going to create a jump on one leg, or what we call a hop. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like. You're going to load up just how you've done the previous exercise, same sort of load. But now as you come up, you're actually going to hop up and catch it down. Hop up and catch it down. And as long as you're staying within a box area, don't worry if you go a little bit sort of side to side. And it might feel a little bit different each time you jump down, but I'm keeping it nice and relaxed, jumping up and down. Okay, you can develop it, you can jump forward and back, side to side. There's literally 1,000 ways you could do it, guys, but I would focus right now just on a little box. If you feel good, I'm sure we'll make future videos on how you can progress this further. Okay, and look exactly the same on the other leg. Again, just getting that lows, exploding up and creating some power. Okay, so as I said, this is the last video of the series. I am going to make a bonus one as well, guys, which is just going to give you some extra pointers on maybe your running and things to think about within your programming. But as always, I really hope you enjoyed it, and thank you very much for watching.